family. You know, you got wife and kids and what have you. But for me, on the other end, you know, I'm working with people that, you know, like a guy Q that I was working with not too long ago. I still have contact with Q. I mean, this brother works odd jobs just to pay for studio time, you know, lives on other people's couches, got a wife and a son too, you know what I'm saying? But they're all in on his dream together.
Right, right.
And I mean, you know, a friend of his, Jeff, was living in a shelter here in LA.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
But for them, they are so serious about what it is they're doing. Just like the guy that I met, the street team guy who was putting up the posters.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this guy walking the streets, he don't have a car. He walking the streets 10, 11 o'clock at night, you know, doing promotion.
I know about it.
You know, so it's all about, you know, what you really, really, really want. And it's one thing to say, you know, I don't want to be working for this white man my whole life, you know, but it's another thing, I mean, but as long as you're working for the white man, you don't have time or room to do anything else, then it's counterproductive. You know, something gonna have to give eventually.
When the money wasn't coming in, you know, how did you generate income to keep?
Well, it's like anything else, man. You really have to have, and this is where a lot of people that come to California or go to another state or go anywhere to try to make their career or something that they want to get into and build as a career. A lot of people fall by the wayside because it's hard for them to wind up, you know, to actually say, okay, well, I'm going to take another sort of job until this kind of gets on its feet. Exactly. And so, I mean, we all had to do that. I've had to play live situations, still, you know, played for a couple of acts or groups or studio stuff, or just take some miscellaneous job, man, you know. At one point in time, I was account executive for a marketing firm. Oh, okay. I did that while I was still in, you know, still doing my music thing, you know. Exactly. But unless you can do that, it's going to be kind of hard to make it, just make it, period, you know.
Images when we're talking about the music business? Well,
it depends on the music. Depends on the genre of music. You know, there's different sort of images you have to come up with depending whether they're in the reggae market, the jazz market, the R&B market, or the hip-hop market. Hip-hop market and the R&B market, and particularly hip-hop market, you got to come up with a lot more image because that's where everything is based on that visual look in the hip-hop market. The reggae market, it's more of a spiritual thing. As you can see, the guy we're working with, Dan I, you know, he's over the age of 30 definitely, but the community support. The good thing about the reggae community, because it's not so political, they support their own. So age doesn't almost matter with the reggae community. They'll really get, and the same thing kind of with gospel. The hip hop market, I mean, you know, if they're over 21, they're almost too old, you know.
Right.
And I mean,
so how do you promote your acts? How do you, your image for your hip hop?
Image for the hip hop is we pretty much have to you know, do as in Rome, man. I mean, you know, we looking at it when you see BET, when you watch BET or MTV or the box. I mean, you pretty much gotta go with that same image. It's you can't, you know, if it's a certain style of dress, you gotta go with that certain style of dress to a degree. Women, it's a lot harder to get out there, especially in the rap venue.
Yeah, you got to be naked.
You have to be a Lil' Kim or, you know, I mean, Foxy Brown, and can't every woman do the things that they do to make it, you know. It's bad. It's a shame that it's like that at this point in time, because I know some young ladies who are great rappers, man, and, you know, they don't necessarily have that image or not willing to make themselves look like them, and as a result, they don't get that much exposure, you know. In the rap vein, two things I don't get into. That's trying to teach a rapper how to rap and trying to teach them how to dress.
Yeah.
There have been many independent music labels that have come and gone. Perhaps they could not survive financially. Maybe they did not have a great image or sound, or they simply did not adhere to the formula that their success relies on their ability to sell records. What makes a hit song? Obviously, there are a number of variables involved. Brian Wallace, the specialist, is a producer. He is responsible for making the beats and melody for a song. He demonstrates how he does it from his home studio.
Your equipment cost and maybe You know, like, did you buy it all at the same time?
No, that's a definite no. That's a definite no. First of all, I got about around $10,000 worth of equipment, and you know, that's a car. That's a car. So in a house, yep, you're correct. But no, the first thing I bought was my beat machine.
Okay.
And that was around $400. And that way I at least had a chance to go ahead and start getting my ideas and doing stuff and making stuff before I might have invested thousands into some of this other equipment. And I've seen people, they've had this type of equipment blown up, but didn't know how to use it.
Don't know how to use it.
Didn't have an ear for music.
Right.
So now they spend all that money to do all this stuff, but they ain't making no good music.
Right.
Ain't nobody liking their beats, ain't nobody. So I started doing my stuff, and as I started learning, just, hey, I got a knack for it.
Right.
There's a talent there.
Exactly. What piece did you buy after the beat machine?
After the beat machine, I bought me this, and that's so I could do my main recording.
Okay.
I didn't even use, I just used the regular mic.
What is that called?
That's called a 1680, VS Roland 1680.
VS Roland 16. And what is the main function of the 1680?
What I do with that is all my recording, all my audio recording. So I want to put everything on audios through here. I got effects already that's built into the 1680, such as reverb, delay, your compressor or limiter, and so on and so on. Just all the different effects that you want to give somebody an echo, and so on and so on.
Where you got the beat going from this speaker to that speaker.
Yeah. Exactly.
And how much was that? How much was the 1680?
That was $2,500. Now I'll be humming stuff sometimes when I'm going. So now. And then, so now that's recorded in the first track. Now, what I was saying earlier is I'll quantize it. And so that's really important, especially when you do the beats. It's not too important when you do your music. I like to use it with my music too, but it's really important when you do your beat because it's in the right note. I'm gonna quantize that 16th note.
Okay.
So it's gonna go. So if something was off just a little bit, it's gonna go on. It's gonna automatically fix it and put it into the right note.
Okay.
And I try to explain 16ths and stuff like that, but unless you knew music, I'll be here too long trying to explain.
Yeah, we'll be here all day.
But that actually has to do with actual music notes. So now it's in 16ths. So then I'll come back and maybe I want to put some more to the beat. Maybe I want to put a so then I'll come back and press record. Now I get a 4 count coming in.
Oh, you just added that?
No, I'm just adding the snare.
Okay, yeah, I hear it.
See, I messed up right there.
Once the recording label has been able to package and act with a song and an image, it is time to promote the finished product. Dubsack Records is sponsoring a promotional concert for their acts, and Mr. Suspect is also a featured attraction.
Spiritually provoke the vibe, disconnected, reconnected to the prodigal side, and survive on both sides as I escape exit west, extravagant dope lyrics that put you on to the test until I'm laid to rest. I detonate and explode, dropping tonical.
It's my job to keep a smile on your face. You my love, your love is true. You're not my fortune and fame. That's why the reason that I love you go is simple and plain. See the things that I do, boo. I'm always in season. The things that I do, boo. So just for this reason, oh, to show my love, can't no one take your place. So baby, when I'm on the road, picture my face. You got my pictures all over the place. Oh, we more days, huh? We more days. Oh yeah. Picture your one face. I'm with this.
Going for the top, get my energy on nine. Trying to get strong as